Welcome back to the Daily Helpline. Before we went to break, we saw a video from our viewer, Alan, who has an addiction to pornography. Alan, welcome, first off. And one of the things I want to do right out of the gate is thank you for trusting us. Because I know this is not an easy story to tell.
No, it's not.
And we kind of know where you are, but I kind of want to know, how long has it been this way and how bad is it? So when did this start?
I started looking at porn when I was 11 years old. I'm 54 now. It's been most of my life. I never saw it so much as a problem. I just accepted that's the way it was. Gradually, it increased over the years, and it's really affected my relationships with women. I've lost jobs, places to live because of it. It's really something that I don't want in my life anymore, and I've been trying to get rid of it, and that's why I'm here.
What was it like in your early 20s before all this started?
In those days, I was sexually active. I'd go to the bars, I'd meet women, I'd go to parties. I mean, sex was a almost daily thing. I'd meet a lot of women, and
you had said that you had a sexual addiction.
Yeah, I did, because pornography was part of that. Along with that was the drugs, the alcohol. That was part of it. The people that I was hanging around with, and I just kept feeding that addiction. I finally broke free of drugs and alcohol, but I haven't broken free of this. And this is the last thing I need to get rid of in my life, and I'm hoping you can help me. I've gone to people in the church for help. They condemn me. You're going to hell. You're not supposed to do this. Ask God for help.
You can't pray this one away.
No. Even when I got free of drugs and alcohol, it took more than the church to get that out of my life.
And what were you running from?
Well, I had a painful childhood. When I was 13 years old, I was molested a couple times, and I felt such shame from that because I thought that I did something wrong. I blamed myself, and I never understood that it wasn't me. It was just what happened to me.
Where were your parents?
My mother left my father when I was very young. She basically raised me. She didn't know. I kept it to myself.
What about Dad?
He wasn't there.
So here's this little boy that Dad took off early.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 13, I would imagine he probably felt pretty alone even then.
Yeah, and that's when I really got involved in sex. I had an affair with a married woman when I was 13. She was 43 years old. She had a couple kids. It escalated. It went from there, and I just didn't understand what sex was really about.
When did you first get exposed to sex?
When I was 13.
Was that through the abuse, or was that?
That was the same time. When I was molested, and then shortly thereafter, I had my first affair with a woman that I knew. I met her through a friend, and I was attracted to her. I was a virgin. I wanted to have sex.
You acted out with drugs, alcohol, and sex. And then you got to a point, my understanding is that you just stopped the sex altogether.
Yeah, well, the last time I was actually with a woman was about 18 years ago. I thought, okay, out there in the world, I had VD 3 times, and I thought, you know what, that's enough. So, since I wasn't having sex with women anymore, I got into pornography more. I said, all right, I won't do that, but I'll do this. And I substituted women with pornography. And I'd look at it 5 times a day. It was just crazy. When you tell people about this, they think you're a pervert. They think you're crazy.
I've been quiet this whole time because I really wanted to hear your story. And my heart just hurts for you. The weight that I see you carrying, I just imagine that you are so exhausted, and there's so much shame, and there's so much guilt, and there's so many things that I want to just hear more about. And so, there is no judgment. You are not to blame for the things that happened to you.
Now let's bookmark that, because we want to get into some solutions when we get back. Yeah. So we have to take a break, but we're going to give Alan our thoughts on this very serious addiction when we return.